Yay!
Dude, there's a beautiful section of that where I forgot I'm not wearing my glasses, and I went like this to adjust, and I went.
He's like,
Is everybody okay? I mean, when Cole went to go and test that microphone and he pulled the entire room into our faces, like, did not feel good. Like, legit, when he grabbed his microphone, the whole table moved. My microphone just hit me in the nose.
He just went
like a whole
Nagano
experience.
on the ground.
A whole experience.
Do you want a reconstruction for the camera?
Dude, no, like it was absolutely insane the amount of force that you used. And then when you went and dug through my marketing fridge to find a drink, apparently when you threw the fridge door open, drinks fell out.
Yeah, you'll have to bring that up with Tyler. I genuinely startled him. He jumped because he had his headphones on, and he was just like, "What was that?" That's just
Does your new facial hair that you've been trying to grow, does that give you the powers to open up a door?
It's only
He's become
one more
Samson.
day, and then I can shave it off. It's no shave November.
Is this really a month? Did you not shave at all this month?
Dude, I don't have to answer that, but no, I have not shaved this month.
He actually hasn't shaved for the past.
Bro,
6
I look
months.
like that after like a day and a half.
I know. It's a little baby face, but at least I can grow a better beard than Azure.
It's true. Azure's beard.
You know what,
sucks.
Cole? I see a little bit of stubble down here. It looks like you did shave.
I didn't shave.
No, there is clearly fresh cut hair
He's
down
been
there.
doing some select
I
shaving.
will deny every accusation.
He's been shaving just his chin.
I plead the fifth.
So why have you been doing No Shave
not.
November?
Oh, because of Tanner.
Tanner dared you
Yeah.
to, huh?
Yeah, I had a nightmare the other night up in Idaho. I was there for Thanksgiving, and I woke up in a cold sweat because I had shaved in my dream, and I came in, and Tanner was furious.
So, like, do you get anything out of this, or
No.
is this just? Oh, whoa.
Just his love and affection.
Words of affirmation.
Yeah,
It reminds me of that episode on The Office when they are doing No Shave November, and Toby comes by and he's like, "Smile if you love men's prostates." So,
And why did we all smile in this room?
oh gosh, Dylan.
Sorry, my bad.
Dylan, are you also doing No Shave November?
Yeah, well, I started like halfway through, and I just let the neck grow in.
Nice.
So-
Well, by the time that this episode drops, it's going to be December 8th. So,
Wow.
Merry
So
Christmas,
Cole's
everybody.
chops
So
will still be
Cole
there.
will still be, Cole
I will
will
be
probably
shaved
be
up.
fresh,
I will
clean
be
shaven, and
freshly
look
shaven.
like a 12-year-old once again.
Yeah, I think facial hair is disgusting, to be quite honest. Yeah. I do not like it.
Shut up about my flavor savers, dude.
That's the worst part is I can still taste dinner.
No,
after-
you cannot.
Yes,
That
I
is
can.
not a mustache. Shut your
100%.
mouth, dude.
Dude,
It
I
gets
had
little
that mustache
flecks
when
of
I was
food,
13.
Little flecks of food.
Does this show up on the? Does his mustache show up on camera?
I mean, that
Are
is
you
the bad
able
part
to
is what
zoom
we're
in
talking
on
about
the-
you
are
probably
able,
cannot
can you
see.
this? Are you able to zoom?
Cole-
Look at my
Cole's facial hair
bad.
is like that invisible writing. You have to have like a black light up to it to see it.
Gotta get real close to the camera.
Yeah.
That is so...
Yes, Cole, have you washed your face in a while?
Cole just went and rolled through a little bit of dirt.
If you're Jeremy, what's that phrase he says? You need a cat to come and lick that off? Something
I've
like
never
that.
heard him say that, but I've never been in tech support.
Jeremy's gonna watch this and be like, "I did not say that." That is some bull.
Gosh.
Like, that was way taken out of context.
Well, as you can see, we have the inside sales team with us once again, and you can probably, every time that we've ever had the inside sales team on, it always ends up being a roast Cole session. So,
Doesn't
It's a
it?
fun time.
He's taking the heat off of my hairline, so thanks,
dude. Last time you were on, did you have the shaved head?
I did, but it was covered by a hat.
Yeah, you're always wearing a hat. But now, like, I actually realized that, like, in the last bunch of episodes, I've been wearing this hat too. And it just so happens to be that on days when we film Big Access Podcasts, I'm wearing a hat. So I do like hats, though. I am
love
always
hats.
like, every weekend I'm wearing a hat. About half the time here at work, I'm wearing a hat. I love them.
I have 43 hats.
The fact that you have counted your hats,
That's insane.
that's crazy.
Well,
Yeah.
have we told you what we were going to do for inside sales? We were going to do PSM of the month.
I know I created
and
that graphic for you guys.
For the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were going to do a big cowboy hat that we could wear around all month if we're PSM of the month.
But then Sean spent your entire budget on food.
On food. And
Well,
now,
and Cole kept arguing for the Arby's style hat. He wanted the big tall one. And I was like, let's just do like, a
I
cool
was actually arguing
Yellowstone
for like
style
an
one.
Abraham Lincoln hat. Something a little classier.
Yeah, you have to like balance it on your head.
Is the reason why you don't have this hat because Sean blew your entire budget?
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything about it in about a month.
Yeah.
Sean's not here.
Sean is not here because he's burning more of your budget. He's actually at a trade show right now.
Well, in Vegas, no less. And it's
See,
a marijuana
he's
trade
actually
show.
doing, he's actually using his travel budget for travel.
Ooh. Wow.
What?
So kind of crazy. But yeah, he is at a show called MJ BizCon. It is a show that we are exhibiting at. It is for the cannabis industry. So
That's what MJ
cannabis
means.
is blowing up big, and they need access control, and they love PDK for a bunch of different scenarios. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. So we're excited about that. We've done case studies on cannabis facilities. We've done end user material on it. There's all sorts of stuff out there for it.
It's a huge business right now.
Well, and today we are going to actually talk about different businesses that access control is blowing up in and how you guys help our customers build out the perfect systems for those applications. So, cannabis is one. Other types of industries that are blowing up really big right now with access control are like MDUs, so multi-dwelling units, businesses that have multiple locations, businesses that are small to medium sized. There's all sorts of stuff, right? Education is another really big one. That's
a big one.
Is getting tons of grants, and so let's talk about those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what I've seen a lot of in my area, and I cover everything a little more western, so it's probably not quite the high rises like Dylan might have with New York and literally all the big cities in the U.S. But what I see a lot of is churches, schools, multifamily, quite a lot of those, a lot of marijuana facilities. So those are what I see the most commonly. They're usually about, 6 to 12 doors.
Okay, Dylan, what do you usually see in your territory?
So I see a mix because I covered a little bit of the South. I'm coming down to like West Virginia and Kentucky, and then up through New York. And up through New York, you're going to see a lot of cases where you're using our Aux8 panel for elevators or door position sensors for your door monitoring. And in the South, you'll see your bigger office regions or warehouses where you're utilizing more of our wireless systems. And that's what's so cool about the PDK system. It's so customizable. So there's so many use case scenarios. You can centralize everything. You can spread everything out. You can start small. You can grow it. It's incredibly customizable.
Yeah, Azure, what do you see down in the Tola area?
A lot of commercial. I've been hearing a lot of people calling for like storage, but mainly like oceanfront pools, pool gates, just kind of like big clubs.
Yeah.
I've been finding down that region.
Nice. So there is a lot of different applications that PDK can be installed in, and that's actually one of the big things that we're working on as a marketing team is putting together material for each type of vertical that we are in. And so you're going to be seeing all sorts of different case studies coming out this next year that talk about all the different type of applications. And so whenever you guys as partners go out there and you are looking for these applications, we here at PDK have a really cool resource for you guys to help you guys make sure that everything is put together correctly, because obviously you guys want all the right parts, you want all the right components to make it where the system works really well together. And we have our sales team here that is really good. All of our outside guys, all of our regional sales directors and regional sales managers and our rep firms that we work with, they're all out in the field. But here in-house, we've got our fantastic inside team, and they work with a lot of you guys, and they help put together the perfect job. So let's start with Cole. Cole, so how do you go about building the perfect application and making sure that your dealers have the right components ready to go for the job?
Well, so we have a cool thing. If you guys don't have the cheat sheet yet, I encourage you to reach out and get that from us. But we can break it down into a few components, right? We've got the cloud node, the head end unit, which you have to have on a site-by-site basis. You need to have one of those. Then we've got controllers, which is where most of the customizability, I think, comes in, because you can mix and match these different size controllers to fit whatever the application is. We've got really large controllers like the Red 8 or the Red Max, or you can even use the Altronics Trove, which covers these really mostly new buildings where everything's centralized. Maybe if they had existing access control, it's all already centralized. But if you have, say, a historic building, or maybe something made out of brick or mortar, something where you can't really run wires through the walls, it's incredibly convenient to have like a Red 1, a Red 2, a Red 4, something that you can kind of spread out, either using Ethernet, PoE, wireless, whatever the case is. Then we've got readers, which are just as diverse as the controllers. You've got Bluetooth readers with either the Red or the Touch IO. We've got ruggedized, we've got standard, we've got actually quite a few ruggedized. We've got the ruggedized series, then we've got the RDR PB. I think even the RDR QR is pretty ruggedized. So any of those options, and then you just get credentials and peripherals, and that's it. So if you just break it down into categories, it's much easier rather than just approaching it and getting overwhelmed by, oh, what do I use here? What do I use there? Just break it down. You need a cloud node, you need a controller, you need readers, you need credentials. Maybe you need peripherals too. But if you break it down that way, I find it's pretty easy to build out a site.
That's awesome. Dylan, if somebody were to call in and say, hey, I do have this high rise that, we need access control, how do you start the conversation on doing all the discovery to make sure that they are getting the right stuff?
Yeah, we're first going to talk about how many readers they're going to need for the elevators, how many floors they're going to need, and then we can customize it from there. So if it's a small floor plan, then we can start with an AUX 8, or we can get an ARM Max, and if there's a lot of floors, and expand it with expansion panels if they have a lot of readers and a lot of floor relays. So that way they're getting everything in one trove and keeping it nice and organized. But for the smaller systems, we can keep it small and compact for them as well. Another cool thing is a lot of these dealers will send in blueprints and show these floor plans where I can see the elevator relays and then customize it. A lot of them come in with a bill of materials they already have, and then we just make some slight adjustments as well, which is really nice. Our dealers are incredibly smart and know what they're doing too.
I completely agree with that for sure. Azure, with the outdoor applications, what kind of weird questions do you usually get about that, and how do you help them with those?
It's like, especially like with the pool, like you always kind of find out where's the cloud node, like how big is the facility, where's the cloud node going to be, and then with the pool gates, is there stuff run to it, what kind of stuff we need for that. So there's lots of different applications that you can have, but there's just a lot of what we do is just kind of like asking questions. How many doors? Is it all centralized? Finding out, is it all together, just kind of finding out exactly what we need to do on our end to be able to just kind of give them the right bill of material. But for the most part, sometimes they'll send me like a overhead picture of the facility, and it's like, okay, well, how many feet from this gate to this gate, and just kind of finding out all those fine details is, but those pictures that they send is pretty spot on, so that's really helpful.
Yeah, that's way cool. Mm-hmm. Another really cool resource that we've got out there with each one of our reps, like the contracted rep firms that we work with, or each one of our regional sales directors that is out there in the field, they can also go out and do these job walks and be able to perform, range tests. They can go out and see, okay, this is the construction of the building, so we recommend doing different things like this. So there's definitely the resources out there to make sure that you guys are installing the correct equipment. And Cole, I like that you brought up that cheat sheet. That cheat sheet, has that been a pretty useful, handy tool?
Yeah. It's come in clutch. It's been awesome because it breaks it down into those categories, makes it very manageable. Shows you exactly what you need. If you get this piece of equipment, you will need this in association with that to make it work. And it even has some notes underneath some of them, like, hey, if you're using 12-volt hardware, tie it directly into the board. If you're using 24 volts, use a dry contact as opposed to a wet contact from our boards. So it has some really good info on it.
Yeah, that's good. Other resources that we've got readily available are for our partners, making sure they've got the right stuff, and is some of these videos that we've been putting out. We're in the middle of slowly releasing these product discovery videos that goes over in-depth information about each one of our products. We've got in our LMS and our training certification course, we go over really in-depth on everything, but we do have other products out there that we want to make sure that you guys are familiar with. And Cole here, he's the one who actually features, he's featured in those videos talking all about those products. So be sure to go out and check those out. One thing that I just thought of, Cole, you know, we've been a little busy over here on the marketing side, prepping for some other stuff that's coming up, and so we haven't been able to film one of those Discovery series lately.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that we didn't have to film one in November, because that facial hair would have ruined the video. I would have made you go home and shave, and then Tanner would have been very mad at you, and then you would have said, "Oh, Brock made me do it," and so then Tanner would go and be mad at me. He'd probably tell my mom, and I'd get in trouble.
It would have been a hot mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
It still is a hot mess. It's not just rhetorical. Like, this is a hot mess.
Are you at the itchy stage?
Everything's itchy, and it's disgusting. I don't like any of it. Okay,
You know,
I want to be very clear. I understand it looks like absolute garbage.
Cool. As long as everybody knows
Yeah,
that.
as long as we're all on the same page, right? Will never happen again. I promise.
Yeah, nice.
Till next November.
Till next November.
Yeah.
I don't.
And then
I
his
don't
chops
think
are going to come in harder. He's going to start looking like Civil War style. Like,
Just connect the mustache and the chops. Be great, Cole.
Oh no.
No, you can do this. Anyways, so guys, how do our partners get a hold of you guys to be able to help out with building these perfect systems?
They can either give their rep a call if they have their direct number, or if you just call into the main line, 801-317-8802, we're option 1. So
Option 1.
easy peasy. Just dial extension 1 and we'll help you. Even if you're a new partner, we're happy to help you on board and build out a bill of materials. That's very commonly what I do. Just somebody picks up our stuff from ADI. They're like, hey, we need a bill of materials and we need help speccing out this job site for the customer. We just help them out with their first install. And it's usually pretty intuitive, so they can, I find as more time goes on, people call in less and less because they get their feet under them and they start to really understand how everything interacts.
You know, I think that's another testament about what PDK is all about, right? We always say, yeah, we're about simplicity. We're about making it very user-friendly. We're all about making it so that somebody who has not had experience with access control in the past can just get in there and feel like they are an access control expert. That comes from the software side of things. It comes from the hardware. And you talking about, hey, you know, let's build out this platform. Let's build out the perfect system for you guys. Suddenly it becomes very, very simple and easy, because it really is, right? When you look at the cheat sheet, there's not a lot to it. It's just basically like, hey, how many readers do you need? Okay, here's the controller for you. It's very simple and intuitive to build out a system. And so you not hearing from these customers on getting design requests and needing help building these systems after you do the first, 1 or 2 systems, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's awesome. Usually the most complex sites are just the bigger ones where we just have to coordinate which IDFs and MDFs are going to centralize all the equipment in and maybe discuss to some degree the network. But outside of that, yeah.
Nice. Well, I like it, guys. So be sure to reach out to these guys if you have any questions on an upcoming job. They are going to be there to help you. Also, reach out to whoever your preferred sales contact is. I guess not your preferred sales contact, but your actual sales contact. If you're doing a preferred sales contact, then Cole wouldn't have a job. Roast Cole session. But anyways, guys, thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Big Access Podcast. If you have not already done so, be sure to leave it a 5-star rating, subscribe to it, and then let us know if there's anything in particular that you are looking to learn. But thank you guys for joining. We love having you guys on.
thank you.
We will see you guys next week.